Hey everyone, for a Pecha Kucha project, we decide to focus on presentation based on the essential question how mentors play a role in our life. This topic we're very passionate about because I think everyone needs to has a role model in their life that helps them shape to be the person they are today, even if you know it or not. Mentors are important because they provide us with numerous benefits mentally and emotionally. If we ever run into our problems in our life, we know we can always turn to our mentors, whether that be a parent, coach, or out to help us solve our problems. Having someone to turn to things when goes bad allows us to have someone to lean on when for powers inside. The theme of points we can learn from our mentor were decided to be focused on will be growth as enhancing our skills and growing as a person. Perspective can be seen as giving you a new outlook in life, and finally, guidance as receiving advice or information aimed at resolving a problem or difficulty from a mentor.
The first point that we will focus on is that mentors offer us guidance. Guidance is something that we can use when we feel lost and don't know which direction to move forward. When we feel this way, a mentor is someone who can be there for us not to force us in a direction, but to offer us a solution and a reason for each point in which we decide to step forward. Earlier this year, we read the short story called A Teacher Who Changed My Life. In this story, it accounts the life of Nicholas Gage and his life as a writer after immigrating to America. As Gage was uncomfortable with writing about his life in war, his teacher offered him guidance and persuaded him to open up about his trauma. This guidance on his writing later won him a competition sponsored by the Freedoms Foundation. The presence of God, or gods, is influential to billions of people's lives around the world. Religion offers people guidance on a way to live life and a set of morals to abide by. Although personally I think the church can be corrupt, I believe the morals that religion guides people to follow is beneficial to the world because it makes people better themselves. Jiminy Cricket, the talking cricket in Pinocchio, acts as Pinocchio's mentor as he aimed to move Pinocchio away from bad influences. Being a tiny cricket, Jimmy was never able to really force Pinocchio to perform good decisions or have good behavior, but through the story, he was able to guide Pinocchio to good standards as Pinocchio later became a real boy.
The second point we focused on is perspective. When we can't find a way to get past a problem, mentors will share different ways to reach the point you want to reach. Martin Luther King Jr., Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, and Mother Teresa are examples of mentors that show us perspective and influence many of their people's and the population's eyes on life. Martin Luther King Jr. was a Baptist minister and social activist who became one of the most visible spokesmen during the civil rights movement. He showed a different perspective of life with his well known speech, I Have a Dream. He taught people how we shouldn't judge people by their skin color, but by their actions that are made, and was a stepping stone towards equality of our skin tones. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was known as one of the greatest political and spiritual leaders. Gandhi took a non-violent approach. Instead of supporting violent means as protests in India, Gandhi changed the perspective of the Indian people as violence was not the way to seek their independence from British rule, and as such, it was effective. Teresa changed the world's perspective on how the poor were treated. She advocated for those who did not have a voice and cared for those suffering from AIDS. She encouraged others to go out and meet the poor in the city in order to truly understand them. With her selfish actions, she cared for those in need and gave the fortunate a new perspective on others not to be looked down upon.
The last point we're discussing is growth. Growth can be in terms of many aspects. Many people need mentors in order to improve themselves not only in their skills, but as actions as people. Constructive criticism is a common form of mentorship between two people. People can also use these lessons in order to pass down to their kids and their kids in the future. The movie Cars is about a professional racer, Lightning McQueen, who is taken off track and lands himself in a whole new environment. He meets former racer and Piston Cup winner Doc Hudson, forming a teacher-student bond. Soups helps McQueen not only let go of his selfish nature, but helps him win multiple titles. McQueen is soon able to use Doc's teachings in order to train another racer in the future. Not only coaches, but players can also act like mentors. Superstar caliber players like Kobe Bryant or Luka Doncic had their own mentors in Michael Jordan or Dirk Nowitzki. Obviously, both Kobe and Luka never played in a league like the NBA and needed guidance to not only grow their skills, but to mature and let go of some of their huge egos. Mentor who helps them in life forward. A middle school coach of mine, Austin Watson, is the older brother of one of my good friends, Sam, who does cheer for Harker Heights High School. I really credit Austin for not only helping me get by some tough issues outside of school, but also helping me to improve in athletics such as football in order to be prepared to play at the high school level.
Our 3 main points are guidance like God and guidance to the Holy Land, perspective like MLK Nonviolent Movement, and his perspective on racial issues and growth like Kobe, Black Mama Bryant, and his growth and his skills of the game of basketball, and help from his mentor, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
We can become mentors by giving a different perspective to lifestyle, using Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech to show uneducated people that we shouldn't judge people by skin color but by their actions. We can use Gandhi's perspective with protests to try changing government's thoughts, and helping the poor like Mother Teresa giving food to those in need.
Such as how Jiminy Cricket guides Pinocchio throughout the story with advice without using forceful means, we can incorporate this into our own lives by giving advice to our friends without being too pushy. At the end of the day, the only opinion or choice in someone's life that matters is their own, and an offer of guidance is something that can be beneficial for someone you care for.
Having a mentor can be very important in somebody's life. Everyone, including professionals, has had to have someone teach them in order to prove their craft and in order to grow in many aspects of life. Growth is not only what makes us better than before, it's in order to help us keep those lessons in order to teach the future.
Mentors are very important in leading us in the right direction, giving us new perspective, growing us into humans we are today. Mentors can be white, brown, yellow, or black. Color is not restricted, and guiding us to not dance the devil, because dancing with the devil might last us forever.